Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This Raptor is scheduled for takeoff. Here we go.
All right, full power, go, go.
Woo! Holy shit.
I'm Michael for Ford Truck Enthusiasts, and this is the Ford Ranger Raptor. Stepping into the inside of the truck here because it's super windy outside. And the big thing to know about this, you guys, is that this is the most affordable Raptor of the year and also the craziest Ranger ever made. It starts at $57,000 with destination delivery, and then you could upgrade. You could add some sticker packages and a few other things, kind of push it towards 60. But basically for about 57 to 60 grand, you're getting something that's more than $20,000 cheaper than the base F-150 Raptor and more than $35,000 cheaper than the Bronco Raptor. $60,000 is obviously a lot of money, but this is a lot of truck for that money. And let's dive into the specs here for 2024, all new global Ranger Raptor. This is the first time a Raptor Ranger is coming here to North America. They've had it other places, but an all new frame. The Ranger itself is 2 inches wheelbase longer than the previous generation and 2 inches track width wider. And then this is 3 inches, just about 3 inches wider on top of that. So it's the widest, craziest Ranger so far. It's got a bespoke frame, a unique suspension, a Watts link out back. We've got unique suspension up front that includes 2.5-inch Fox live valve dampers. And so those measure what's going on, and you can set them to different firmness settings. There's a button here on the steering wheel that'll let you do it. So you've got a normal, sport, and off-road mode. And the damping also adjusts when you change the different drive modes. You head into Baja mode, sport mode, normal, slippery. All of that will adjust, what the, transmission and the transfer case is doing. So speaking of which, we've got a 10-speed automatic transmission with full-time four-wheel drive. So 4 auto, 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high as well. Under the hood, we've got a 3-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6 making 405 peak horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of peak torque. This is a very similar motor to what's in the Bronco Raptor as well as the Explorer ST. Also, we've got front and rear locking differentials, active vents on the hood and the fenders, and a live valve exhaust that has a quiet mode, normal, sport, and Baja mode, which is for off-road use only, or making your neighbors really, really angry. So checking out the steering wheel here and checking out kind of the inside as well, you can see we've got steering adjustments that you can do, your damping on your suspension, your exhaust modes. This is your My Mode button, or your R button, or your Raptor button, so you can configure a custom mode just for you. And as you can see here on the inside, it's the nicest of the Ranger interiors so far. We've got these kind of suede materials, leather on the door panels, unique kind of plastic bits, that shiny bits, code orange accents everywhere, Raptor logos. These are the seats. They're very similar to Mustang Recaros, but not quite as bolstered, not quite as kind of hug you tight while you're going around corners. We've got a 12-inch Sync 4A screen with Bang & Olufsen speaker system, dual climate control, wireless charging. You got your shifter here. These are the buttons to, again, do your drive modes, do your tow haul mode. This has got the Pro Trailer backup assist feature as well. This is kind of your magic button that Ford Performance calls it, which will bring up your front camera, kind of show where the power distribution is, depending on what mode you're in. Anytime you go into kind of a four-wheel drive mode, it tends to lock the differentials, so you have to turn them off if you don't want them. All right, we are driving up here in the mountains of Utah, crawling up some, relatively small obstacles, I would say, but more than capable, super comfortable. We're going up here, front and rear diff locked. There are 3 different suspension modes with this 2.5-inch Fox Live system. Normal for street driving, sport, which is tougher for, again, also street driving. It'll kind of hunker things down in corners. We're in off-road mode, which is the most comfortable. And this is, we're hitting a lot of obstacles here, and this is not hurting my back at all. We're testing out trail control here. And so to activate that, it's on the same screen as your rear locker buttons. Then you use the cruise control functionality, which is a plus and minus toggle switch to go up and down. Pick your speed and now take your foot off the brake and the truck will coast at your selected speed until you either hit the accelerator or you hit the brake. Very intuitive, very easy to use if you'd like to have a little bit of help crawling down off of things or crawling up. Yeah, so the one weird thing about coming down the hill here is that the upshifts and downshifts on the 10-speed transmission are pretty heavy duty. Either takes away or gives you a little extra speed when you're not prepared for it, which isn't the best. So it's, yeah, oh yeah, just right there. It kind of just kicked into a different gear and changed our speed. Next up, doing a little bit more high speed. We got the exhaust in its loudest mode, which is called Baja mode. What do you guys think of the 3-liter twin turbo EcoBoost? Oh my gosh, this is so fun. That was the most comfortable, I mean, outside of the other Raptors that I've experienced. I don't love the exhaust, but I don't hate it. Oh, wow. This is fun. Yes. Yeah, this is a lot more nimble than the F-150 Raptor. When you're trailing on that, it's so wide. Not bad, but this is just more narrow, just a touch more agile.
How big are these tires? Are these
33s.
Okay.
Speaking of tires and what we got going on here, these are BF Goodrich All-Terrain TA's KO3s. So BF Goodrich developed a variant of these tires for the first generation Raptors. Those were KO1s. Since the second generation, they moved up to the KO2 tire, which is currently on the Bronco Raptor. It's on the F-150 Raptor, the Raptor 37, and the Raptor R. But this is the KO3, so the third variant. I'm not sure exactly what is different, but it is a different size. So these are 33s, pretty similar actually to the F-150 Tremor setup. Here is the tread. Really, really great all-terrain tires. Not too loud on the highway in my opinion, but they deliver all the grip we've had today in the mud. It is beautiful right now. Winter day, March in Utah with our red Raptor. Gave it a paint job in mud. Very, very comfortable truck. Very capable, very nimble. Wow, just really impressed. Cutting in here about the on-road driving experience. I just did about 30 miles at highway speeds here in the Ranger Raptor. Bang & Olufsen sound system, pretty good. It gets a little bit muddy if you push the bass too far, but it can probably be tuned. But overall, it's an improvement over the regular Ranger sound system, of course, and it's pretty good for a truck. At highway speeds, the truck feels a little floaty at times, and it's a little darty in the steering. Not terrible, but just something to be aware of, just in its driving characteristics. Braking feels really nice, and acceleration is mid-tier. So 400 horsepower is obviously a lot of power, but this is also a pretty heavy truck, so it's not it doesn't feel quite as sprightly as like the Mustang when it has 400 and more horsepower and so forth. But overall, a nice driving experience, very comfortable, good sound system. Really liked the on-road experience. Moving on to the high-speed section of our day, now's the perfect time to mention Ranger Raptor Assault School. Much like the Bronco Off-Rodeo or various Mustang track attacks, if you buy a Ranger Raptor, you'll have the chance to attend Ranger Raptor Assault School out here in the high plains of Utah, just south of Salt Lake City. Airfare and lodging aren't provided, but the goal of this school is to teach customers how to get the most out of their new Ranger Raptors. Plus, you get to spend the entire day messing around with trucks that you don't own. The school program not only includes the mountain trail activities that we've just shown you, but 2 different types of off-road dirt courses.
This is rad. Woo!
For the first smaller track, instructors guided us through 3 different driving modes, normal, off-road, and Baja, to help demonstrate how the truck varies its feeling and behavior. For example, off-road is noticeably more comfortable than normal, and the truck feels more at home in the mud and dirt. So they're trying to show us how the driving modes affect performance, and this is much more confidence-inspiring despite the fact that we still don't have any grip. Baja takes things one step further, keeping the turbo spooled up for a better torque curve. It also turns off traction control while leaving stability control on, so you get a little bit more freedom, but the truck will still reel you in if you go too far. Right, this one, we lose a lot of traffic.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Moving on to the larger Baja course, we left the Raptors in Baja mode and were able to access more trail running speed and get a sense of the Raptors' agility and playfulness. I even got to do a ride-along with the Ranger Raptors program director, Justin Capicchiano, who is one heck of a driver.
This bit's where it's like mucky, so you gotta stay high,
Yep.
and then you can gas it and point it straight. Back this one in, get a bit of nose in, slide, brakes, hard, tip, steer.
Wow.
Hits the apex, right?
You can see his whole lap and an interview with him in a separate video, linked below. The one downside, unlike this Ranger Raptor press event, which is what I'm attending during this video, Ranger Raptor Assault School does not plan to include jumping. For that, you'd have to buy an F-150 Raptor. But still, Ford's PR department couldn't help demonstrating that, much like its bigger brother, the Ranger Raptor was born to fly.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This Raptor is scheduled for takeoff. Here we go.
All right, full power, go, go.
Woo! Oh my God, wow! I've never done that before. That was rad.
To be fair, this isn't the biggest leap in the world. I think we got a couple feet of air max and maybe jumped about 2.5 truck lengths. And you can see some pretty extreme tire sidewall compression during landing. Still, I would not try this with a normal truck, and it was a super amazing experience.
Wow. Final thoughts on the Ranger Raptor as a whole, but this is the best value Raptor since the original, which is now 15 years ago, right? Plus, it hangs out with the F-150 and the Bronco. They all do things a little bit differently. The F-150 and the Raptor R are probably gonna be the fastest ones. The Bronco is going to be the rock crawliest ones. And this guy, this is kind of like a jack of all trades. It's really neat. It's the most agile, it's the lightest. Again, the most affordable, good power to weight ratio, excellent driving characteristics. Love these Ford Performance seats. They're not quite as grippy as Mustang kind of Recaros, but they're right up there. And it's just an absolute joy to drive hard. We've done rock crawling and on trails and driven it in the mud. We jumped it. And this is a home run from the Ford Performance team. The only thing it needs is a V8. No, that's not gonna happen, I don't think. But I will say that outside of the engine noise, which is a subjective thing, absolutely great truck. Almost no notes. I mean, if you had ventilated seats in a V8, it would be perfect, but this is just so good and fun to throw around. The tires, everything about this truck absolutely delivers. And of course, if you buy one, you get to come here to Ford Ranger Raptor School for the day, which is just an experience. And wow. Home run, Ford. Thank you so much for flying me out to Utah so that I could test out this vehicle and drive it. Can't believe this is $57,000 in this day and age, right? The Raptor, the F-150 Raptor starts in the 80s. The Bronco Raptor starts in the 90s. And this can be had all in if you get no options, just a standard paint color, no sticker packages, no extras. It's like 57 grand plus tax and title and that sort of stuff. What a value. I just really in love with this truck. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all well and safe. If you're over on Ford-trucks.com, Ford Truck Enthusiasts, please make sure to comment in our forum threads. Feel free to drop a comment down below, ask any questions. Again, these are all just kind of first impressions. I've had only a few hours behind the wheel, but they've been kind of an extraordinary few hours, and it's really amazing.